Welcome, everybody, to Midday Magazine for this Thursday, March 27th, 2025. Have your host, James J. Malouf here. In part 2 today, we're going to speak with our friends from UW Extension. Jen McNally is going to be with us. Looking forward to that. Right now, our friends, Family Natural Foods, in with us. We have Stephen and Katrina Hittner. Good afternoon, you guys. How you doing?
Hello. Good. How are you all?
Doing well. It took me a second to remember this face over here. It feels like it's been a while, Stephen. It's good to see you, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, glad to be back.
Appreciate the time from you guys. Let's dive right into what's happening over at the shop.
Sure. Yeah. It's, spring, winter, the mix of all of those things.
I can see a little grass.
See a little bit, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So with that comes the excitement of garden seeds. So we're not going to highlight it too much, just a little bit. We have a lot of our garden seeds up. We do not have our potatoes or onions in. Those will be in probably mid-April typically is when we get those. So I like to just tell everybody because we get really excited. And you can come and shop most of the other stuff. Don't plant it yet, everyone. Just prepare and plan those gardens, and then
you can plant indoors.
Yeah, yes, that's true. Good point.
Something you guys have touched on quite a bit is the planning for this, and now is a really good opportunity to map that out.
Yeah, absolutely. So map it out and know that we've asked questions if you have questions about it, but start thinking seeds. And with seeds comes the
responsibility.
Well, yes, responsibility. Yes, Stephen. Good. It's true. If you're it's like a child. You just got to care for that.
He's right seeds. Back in he's in perfect form.
He doesn't miss a beat.
He's in perfect
he doesn't
form.
Miss a beat.
Yep.
It's
we'll
true.
sell them to you. They're not. We got a really good price. 99 cents for a whole packet of seeds. Nice amount of seeds. Lots of options. But then you got to do all the work.
You got to do that.
A lot of responsibility.
That's
It's true. Absolutely.
It's well worth it. Especially when you go to the grocery store and you see inflation prices.
Really?
99 cents, you're going to get like a bushel of vegetables.
The exercise, the dirt in your fingernails, which is good for you. The breathe in the fresh air, all those good things.
Yep. Then the next thing you got to do is get chickens. We used to sell baby chicks at our store.
That's my favorite job.
Yeah.
I bet.
About this time of year, we'd get them in.
Maybe once a year we'll get
to
somebody asking.
local folks, farmers, whoever, and it was just a service we did for years and years. And then it was probably 20 years ago we stopped doing this, of course. But kind of thinking lately, I'm like, we should be selling baby chickens so people can get their own eggs in their own backyard.
Yeah, cut out the middleman.
It's expensive nowadays. So I think start with vegetables though. It's a little less responsible than chickens.
Yes. There you go. That's a good place to start. And then when you're outside, taking care of the lawn, getting things prepared for spring, you may notice that you're getting your allergies are creeping up. So this is our just a public announcement, a reminder that this is a great time to prepare your body and your immune system for allergies. Build it up now so you don't have the issue or much of an issue right now.
Yeah. Sinus and allergies, this is always kind of that time of year. Ideally, we're getting towards the end of the sinus issues, or tapering off of it, but stay ahead of it, like Katrina said. Don't wait until your body's, if you're every spring I get allergies, just start taking a little bit of natural things right now and then you won't have a problem.
Yeah.
Another great thing is we have sales on allergy products. We'll have more sales even next month.
Some
as
now
well.
and some later.
Yeah, both. Yep.
One of the things that I mentioned this major part because it's because of you guys that I even picked up on this, but I don't know how long I've had allergies that I've been dealing with that come around and I just kind of got used to it and just dealt with it. And it's one of these things that we like to remind people about, that we're, especially in the Midwest, we're so accustomed to, rub some dirt on it, just keep walking. When aches and pains or you're having trouble breathing or any of these things, you don't have to do that. You don't have to go through that. There are a lot of really, really natural, great products out there that can help you with these things. I stand by it because it's such a difference maker when you can breathe really well.
Yes, that's an important thing.
It turns out.
We need to breathe.
It's novel, isn't it?
Yes.
Didn't realize. Yeah, it's a big one. I appreciate you guys noting that for our audience, though, because I think there's one of the things that we lose sight of is that these allergies, well, I've never had allergies. Doesn't mean you can't develop them later in life.
Yep, and I've heard that from a lot of people that haven't had them, and then in the last couple of years, they do now have them. So that's something to be on the lookout. And so, sales on allergy stuff this month and next month. And then I just want to highlight a couple sales of some companies that a lot of people like to stock up on when it's on sale. So first one being CV Science, which has a lot of great CBD products.
Yeah, plus CBD. They have just kind of anything you're looking for CBD, and they're one of the leading companies. Have been around a long time, high quality, third-party testing, verified products. So if you want stuff for your health, especially, they're a good quality company to go with.
Mm-hmm. And then trace minerals. This is a nice time to build up our, electrolytes in our bodies, and so there's a lot of great minerals rich in a lot of those products. So that's on sale right now too.
From magnesium to electrolyte packets, like the fizzy stuff you add to your water, tastes good. Mm-hmm. They've got a lot of products actually. It's hard to keep track of, but they're all on sale. So come in before the end of the month.
And then True Grace. So we're going to do a little recap of the presentation that we had just in the beginning, middle of this month. Mm-hmm. We'll do a little presentation recap. But they're on sale till the end of the month, so you guys have till Monday. I just had somebody stock up on lion's mane mushroom, which is great for our brain health. And she grabbed the bottle and I said, just so you know, it's on sale. You might want the large size. She's like, I didn't know there was a large size. She saved $12 by that. So it was, really great.
Nice.
But we want to do, smart.
She's already using it.
Exactly. So we want to do a little recap on the True Grace presentation that happened a couple weeks back with Brian, the CEO of True Grace. And it was fantastic for everyone that came. I loved it.
Yeah, really nice turnout. Mm-hmm. And people are always very compelled. I mean, I'm personally very compelled by what he talks about. He's so genuine. So down to earth and so passionate. They really are. They built their company out of just pure passion and kind of a desire to give people products that can improve their health.
Yeah, I would say they're like off of what Stephen's saying. They're passionate and they really want to educate everybody, so they're aware of what's happening in the environment and the quality. They're all about the quality of a product, and they're
research.
And the research. Yeah. Like a lot of the products, and we're going to talk about the Kids Multi. There's patented, researched products that are in it, so it's a really well designed and quality product, and it's just from them as people. They're just so genuine to, the quality product they put in, and then they're thinking about the environment, and then they're getting you the best you can get. So they're just a really cool company. I'm really glad to
Brian
always
kind of reminds me a little bit of Terry Lemeron.
Yeah, like a younger version.
Yeah. I picked up on that too.
Yeah, kind of similar hairstyle or lack of hairstyle.
Yeah.
And both very passionate and obviously also they're Wisconsin-based companies, family owned, all those kind of similarities, working with research, ingredients, stuff like that. Brian, I'm like, I didn't tell him that. But, for the listening audience, you might find the connection. Certainly a young Terry Lemeron and the quality of the products speaks to that too. Well,
and especially what you said there, Stephen, and I love the words you used, a genuine passion, a genuine energy that is it cannot be more genuine. There's no putting on airs. There's no trying to sell you anything. The product speaks for itself, and they get that. Yeah. And they're it's certainly you want to keep the lights on. It's very similar, and it's not a coincidence that you guys have a very similar business motto in many ways. You want to keep the lights on, but the overall goal is to keep your community healthier and give your community more options when it comes to that health. And that's what True Grace does. They want to keep the lights on. They want to keep their company going, of course, and everything. That's business. But more importantly, their number one goal is to keep the people using these products healthier and living their best life.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Totally.
Yeah. So Stephen's going to share a story about that Brian shared about their Kids Multi, which is great, and it's a new one for us. But he's going to share it specifically about the Lutamax, which is a researched lutein for eyes for kids. But while he's doing that, I'm going to have you sample it, James.
Oh, okay. Right, cool.
This is for kids, but it also could be for adults. You may just need to take more. It's very delicious.
Just kind of double the dose for adults. I think it's 4 a day or something for adults.
Yeah, it's delicious, and my kids love it. It's great flavor. They're, again, quality products, and they're just not full of sugars and all the other things that you don't want your kids to necessarily have.
It took them a long time to make this, because it's hard to make a kid's gummy that has really good ingredients and enough of them, but still tastes good. And this one really pulled it off.
As a note to the audience, this may bring out the kid in me.
Yeah.
It may possibly. Right. No, I'm going to go try. These are cool. They're little bears, too. I like that.
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah, they're fun. They're They're soft and easy to eat, so they're not like a hard gummy or a tablet. So again, for a person that has a hard time swallowing, this might be the option.
What do you think, James?
I love the flavor. Right away, I've never been too much. I love gummy worms, but I have never been too much of a gummy person when it comes to these kind of products. That had a lot of flavor to it that I didn't even realize I was taking something that's good for me kind of thing,
Yeah.
which is really good for kids.
Absolutely. And so the flavor is like they actually don't tell me what the flavor is, but they have a symbol of it. It's a strawberry and a lemon, and I really flavor that, like strawberry with a little bit of citrus coming out of it. But
that's the aftertaste is really good too, you guys. That I didn't even expect that. Oh, that's really nice.
And before Stephen shares a story about the lutein, I want to mention that K2 is really good for for many different things, but it's really good for bone development. And think about kids; they're growing bones like exponential at this time. So we really want to give them that. I mean, it's good for a lot of things, bone health, heart health. But I think it's not in a lot of kids' multis. And so I think it's so great it's in here because our kids need strong foundations, right?
That's a really good note on looking at those things too when it comes to multivitamins, kids and adults. If there's something you're looking for, you don't just assume it's in there. Double check.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, so the Lutamax.
Yeah, Lutamax.
So that is a patented researched ingredient. So there's been a lot of clinical research done on that exact ingredient. And then Brian, reassured us that he put in the clinical strength. He didn't just put a little sprinkle of it in there. There's a meaningful amount. And what this does, it's kind of a long story. So ultimately what it does is help kids with their focus and attention. And, especially school-age kids going to school, what's more important than having better focus and attention? And the way this works is the Lutamax helps kids that are maybe if they spend above average or above recommended amount of time on screens at school, whatever, computers, televisions, their phones, that will affect your sleep. It'll affect my sleep, your sleep, and certainly children's sleep. So that any of that kind of blue light screen time affects sleep. What this Lutamax does is it counteracts that. So then it helps kids sleep better. And then what they found in their study is that when kids slept better because of this Lutamax, their attention was better and their focus at school, etc., was notably better. So the study said it took 90 days. It might take a little less for your kid or whatever, but I'd say if you want to try this, give it a couple months, but give it a little bit of time. But really, the idea is that over time, over weeks, your kid will sleep better because their body is able to kind of adjust to that blue light with this Lutamax. So they can still spend time on screens. Of course, that would be an improvement too, is to reduce screen time. Yep. But if that's not always possible, sometimes kids need to use computers for homework and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And this same formula, Brian said, can work for adults too. So if you've got a concern about blue light, you want to take something that's a chewable, you can take this yourself, and it will improve your sleep, and then ultimately maybe even your attention as well, if you're having a problem with that as a result of blue light.
Stopping doesn't lead to solving more times than not. And especially if you're talking about children or teenagers or anything like that, hey, stop doing that. What are they going to do? More times than not, they're going to keep doing it and everything. What I admire is businesses or people that adapt to the times and figure out a way to work with both things. We're not going to be able to completely cut off screen time of kids.
No.
Dirty secret, we don't want to. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of good things and positive things about laptops and stuff, and it's where a lot of education is going. So they're going to get that screen time, whether you like it or not, in some ways. To adapt to that and have something that a supplement that thinks of that. That's awesome to me. That's such a cool idea to me. And I think a sign of the times of where things are going to be going more and more.
Yeah, and a very tasty one too, like you even mentioned.
Very tasty.
So, I mean, most kids are going to be like, yes, give me that today. I will take it. And great, maybe you can't afford 6 different supplements for your kids, but maybe you just put your energy on this one, and this can help with multiple different things too.
Yeah, True Grace is really about building that strong foundation, filling in, that foundational health and making sure you've kind of got everything covered. And I think really that's the place that everybody should start. You can always kind of look at the new shiny thing out there, which I think we'll talk about shortly here, the blue.
Oh, I was going to leave that for next time.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we can.
Oh,
we
yeah, we did bring in a new product. We'll talk about it next time, but what is the new product that's getting really
methylene blue.
Yeah.
But the key to it is you want third-party tested quality product,
Yeah.
and this one is that. So just the quick it's a buzz thing now, but if you're looking for it, we have it. But it's really good for like cellular health and many different facets of it. Kind of like a CoQ10, but in a totally different way that's good for all of your cellular health. So I'm going to share more of it next
That's
or
right.
next
So
time
I
we're
got
here.
ahead of myself here.
That's okay, because anybody that's looking for it, they can come in and we can talk to them more about it. But what we're going to highlight is that we're having another great presentation. Digestive health again. So we're bringing Dr. Tracy back.
Yeah.
Anybody that's gone to her presentations, they know her. She's fantastic. We're having her again. It's going to be on April 8th at 5 p.m. And she's going to talk all things digestive. This one's going to be a little bit more focused on like cleansing and like spring, just like our bodies need some, a break and regenerate and like get those organs really doing what they should be doing. As well, it will emphasize, just overall digestive health, quality, whether it's heartburn that you have or like irritable bowel, all sorts of things. So she's fantastic.
Yeah,
don't want to miss it.
Just improving digestion. Sometimes, like just feeling kind of bloated or feeling like you get tired after you eat. Heartburn, like those kind of things that, a lot of people pass off as just common and they just live with. Kind of like you were talking about earlier, James, with like, oh yeah, you just tough it up. You're a Midwesterner. You just carry on. Well, those things lead to bigger problems over time. A lot of things, gut, like healthy digestion is really optimal for overall health. Like a lot of, the majority of your immune system is in your gut, for one thing. And a lot of autoimmune conditions originate from the gut, from something called leaky gut syndrome, and that's where your gut gets damaged to the point where foods and toxins and stuff leak through the gut lining and into the bloodstream and create where they're not supposed to be, obviously, and then those create various autoimmune conditions, and that's something Dr. Tracy talks about quite a bit in her talk. So kind of getting not brushing off those little signs that we get. And sometimes they're big signs, like some of the things Katrina listed. But even the little signs, not brushing those off and saying, hey, how can I get my digestion just a little better? I think it's one of those things, all things in our life we should look at and say, how can I get a little better? How can I optimize this? Next week, maybe I'll try to just do a little bit more. Or next month, we don't have to tackle everything at one time. But I think digestion is one of those things that if we can do anything, just improve your digestion day by day, week by week, month by month.
Well, also think about it. You might be buying a really wonderful and expensive supplement product or really wonderful organic food.
Yeah.
But if your digestive system is off, then you're not going to absorb those nutrients as well. You're not going to absorb what you should be from that multivitamin or whatever it is you're buying. So really, like Stephen's saying, it's the foundation of your health, your immune system, your body. It spends so much time digesting our food. So if we can get our digestive system, we can probably heal a lot of other things within our body.
I mean, next to breathing air, I think it's right up there.
Yeah.
It's pretty high up on the list.
It's up there for sure. So save the date for April 8th at 5 p.m. with Dr. Tracy. It's going to be a great presentation.
Yeah, there'll be some sales and sometimes there's some giveaways, some stuff you can try too. It's always fun, and I think everybody can get something out of a digestive health talk. And even myself, who've been to her talks more than once, I'm always learning new things. I'm like, where did she come up with this?
Yeah.
One of the things about the presentations we encourage is here's an opportunity to ask your questions right face to face and everything. Yeah. With this particular topic, it may be even more, presentation friendly with something like this.
Yes.
So it cannot encourage you enough to make plans to head out over and check this out.
Yeah, that's April 8th at 5 p.m. I'm going to put another one out on the calendar here for everyone. It's spring cleaning and low waste. It's going to be on May 6th at 5:15, and this is with Rubina. She's with Process up in Stevens Point. So we're going to talk about we're bringing in like bulk cleaning products and how they can be, they're better for the environment because you're buying in bulk. They're save you more money, and they're cleaner clean. You're using glass instead of plastics, and we all have too many plastics in our world.
Yeah, and the cleaning, like the ingredients aren't chemicals; they're like natural ingredients that are very effective. And she's going to talk about like how these work so well. In all those levels like Katrina just mentioned.
Yeah, so that one's going to be on May 6th at 5:15, so mark your calendars for that. But lots of cool things coming up.
Yeah. Real quickly, going back to the digestion thing, I know that there was a trend there for a little while about detoxing and some of that, and you saw a lot of that going on. I feel like that has evolved to just figuring out, hey, my digestive system. And when I talked to people the last time you guys were doing this, I had a couple of listeners that chimed in and mentioned some things, and one of the things they mentioned is that I don't even know how to word this, or I don't know how to. This is why the presentations are there. It's a great opportunity to be able to ask those things face to face. You're not talking about over to a computer or over the phone or something like that. And she is so good at this and making you feel comfortable with it. It's going to be a really fun presentation, and there are so many other great things. We have just scratched the surface of what's going on over at Family Natural Foods. There are so many wonderful things going on over there, everybody. Find out yourself at 910 West Grand Avenue right here in Wisconsin Rapids. Give them a call, 715-423-3120, 423-3120. Be sure to follow them on social media and share their pages on your posts, your pages. You just never know what they who might see it that wouldn't otherwise. And I do want to say a personal thank you to the gang for over at Family Natural Foods sponsoring Playmakers. We really appreciate you guys doing that. It gives us an opportunity to have fun with our audience and buying local, and we appreciate you guys doing that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for the time, guys. We'll talk again real soon.
Sounds good.
Yep.
And we'll have more Midday Magazine coming up for you right here at 97.5 FM, 1320 AM, WFHR, locally grown radio.